Hey there, race fans. It's race day top 5 with me, Frank 5. This is a little bit of a different background I've got because I'm currently in college. I'm not going to say where, but I'm in college and this is a different background, but I will still keep doing these videos for you guys, so let's get this one going with. Bristol, baby, made a lot of interesting headlines at the end of the night. Tempers weren't really flaring. There were some wrecked race cars, and the bottom group came back in action, and Rowdy completed a triple sweep. So that's basically like winning 3 games in a whole series against your rival in a baseball team. Number 1, Kyle Busch, who was coming in as one of the favorites at Bristol, trying to complete the sweep for the 3rd time in his career, got the job done and won the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race 500 last night at Bristol. And not so much dominating fashion because he had a good car but wasn't as strong as other guys were on the racetrack. He was just basically top 5, top 10. At times he was leading, at times he fell back, and then he got the car adjusted towards the end, especially short runs were really his best friend. Kyle Busch, the past couple times we've been at Bristol, has been one of the best cars and had a chance to win this race like a year ago, but unfortunately something broke in the rear end and he failed to finish the race. And in the spring he had a good car but had tire issues. The past couple times he's not been able to finish this race or have a shot at winning because of that. But he was able to put all that behind and capture his 2nd win of the season as he won over Eric Jones, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, and Kurt Busch. Number 2, Chase Elliott. I don't know. I mean, we had a really good run last night going. We were in the top 5 most of the night, and then we made contact with the 4 car and sensor on the inside wall. Luckily, we fixed the damage, got the lucky dog, and then finished 18th, which is not indicative of how well we ran. But with 2 races to go and 67 points above the cut line, feeling a little bit better that we might still be able to make the playoffs, especially with Darlington coming up in a couple of weeks because we're so good there, and he's won Xfinity race there. And had a chance to win that thing a year ago. I think we got a good shot at going to Darlington, having a chance to win, and not just come away with solid points tonight. It's all we need, and we gained a couple points last night, and it really helped us. Number 3, Eric Jones. Close, but as Jimmy Spencer would say, no cigar. He had the best car starting on the pole for the first time in his career and nearly came away with a win that almost jumbled up the entire playoff format. If Eric Jones had won this race, Chase Elliott would have been 6 points above the cut line and Matt Kenseth would have been outside the cut line, or Jamie McMurray. It was back and forth most of the night between those guys. But not winning the race really put a damper on Eric Jones' mood, but at the same time, he really impressed me that race. He was so good, so fast. He's going to win his races in the future. And, of course, he's going to Gibbs next year. As he'll be, he's been part of Gibbs the entire time, but Furniture Row Racing is just an affiliate with Gibbs. And he's replacing Matt Kenseth, and I think he's going to really make a name for himself next year. This was just the beginning of who Eric Jones really is in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. A young kid with a lot of talent on short tracks. And Richmond's coming up in a couple of weeks, so there is still hope yet for Eric Jones to get to victory circle. Number 4, Kurt Busch in his 600th NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series start came away with a top 5 finish on a car that hit the wall early on and was a top 15 car. So this really helped Kurt Busch momentum-wise, because the past couple of weeks have been kind of tough on him. I mean, he's had good race cars, just not the finishes that show him, especially stored horsepower. Really hurts, but this kind of helps Kurt. And it was rumored in the week that there is a possibility Kurt Busch, even though his option wasn't picked up by Stewart Haas to return next year, he could still come back. I hope he does. And number 5, the playoffs are getting tighter and tighter going into Richmond with only 2 races to go. Elliott's 67 points above the cut line, Kenseth is 61, and Jamie McMurray is 51 points above the cut line. So no way are those guys safe. Well, 69 points for Elliott, but anything is possible. They could win, or somebody else outside the playoffs, like Logano, Boyer, Jones, Suarez, or even Earnhardt Jr., which is doubtful, could pull off a win and jumble this whole thing up going into Richmond. So these guys that are above the cut line really need to run well these last 2 weeks, and they need to prevent the other guys outside the top 16 from winning. So who will make it and who will not, we will see what happens in the coming weeks, and we got a little off break, and then we'll get back to the Southern 500 at Darlington. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like. Kyle Busch completed the sweep for the 2nd time in his career, and the only person to do it at Bristol. And have a nice week.